Hi all, welcome back to Azure Content YouTube channel. This is part 6 in SQL Real-Time Scenarios playlist. In this video, we are going to learn how to delete duplicate records using not in operator in SQL Server. So let's see the use case in details. So this is our requirement. So we have few duplicate values in the SQL Server. So this is how the data looks like. This is the table called details table where we have 5 columns. First one is ID, then employee name, department, contact number, and city. And if you see the values, so basically we have 3 duplicate entries. The first one is ID 2, then ID 5, and ID 6. These 3 rows are having duplicate records. So what we need to do is we need to delete all these 3 rows which are having the duplicate entries. So in the output, after deletion of the duplicate values, we want to retain the unique records, which means we will be left out with the records with ID 1, 3, and 4, right? These are the 3 unique records. So this is how our output data should look like. So we need to delete 2, 5, and 6. So that's what the requirement is. So let me go to SQL Server and start implementing the same. So I already have the details table created with the same column values which is present in the presentation: ID, employee name, department, contact number, and city. And these are the records which has been inserted into it. If we see the data, this is how it looks like. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to identify the duplicates based on all these columns, which is employee name, department, contact number, and city. So based on all these columns, if we have the duplicates, then we are going to delete those duplicates. So we have already seen how to identify the duplicates in our previous video. I will add the video link in the description of this video. So first of all, we need to perform group by on the basis of the columns which we need to use to identify the duplicates. So in this scenario, we will use all the columns to identify the duplicates except for ID column, which is having unique records. So we will use select employee name, then department column, then contact number, and city column from table, which is details table, and then we will apply group by with the same column names. Okay. And as we know, if we are using group by, we need to use some aggregate function on top of it. So we will use count star to identify the duplicates. Okay. So first of all, if we do group by, you can see the number of records is coming here. So this record is having 3 occurrences. This record is unique and it is only having 1 occurrence with these values. And similarly, for employee name John, we have 2 occurrences of this same record. Okay. So what we are going to do is, let me first give alias to this count, and then on top of this, we are going to use having clause to identify if the count of the records is greater than 1, then these records will be the duplicate records. So if we add this filter of having count star greater than 1, then it will only identify the duplicate records. So it will give output of these 2 values, Alice and John. Okay, so let me run this and you can see this is what is the expected value. We are getting Alice and John, which is having 3 and 2 count respectively. Okay, so we have 3 duplicate values for employee name Alice and 2 values for employee name John. So what we need to do is we need to delete all of the occurrences except for 1 occurrence, and we need to keep the unique values for each of the records. Okay, so let me again see the values in details table. So now our approach will be very simple to delete the duplicate values. What we are going to do is we are going to group by these values again so that we will get each of the unique values for all the combinations. So we will get 3 combination of values for John, Alice, and Bob, right? But then we will take the minimum of IDs for each of the values. So we will take 1 for John. So we will take the record with ID equals to 1 for John, and similarly for Alice we will take ID equals to 3, and for Bob we will take ID equals to 4. Okay, and then the left out values we will be deleting. That means 2, 5, and 6. These 3 IDs we need to delete. So what we need to do is again we will apply group by. So let me write the query select. Okay, and what we are going to select we will write later. But before that, let me write select from details table, and then we will group by using the same columns. Let me copy it and paste it here. And now what we are going to do is we are going to take the minimum of ID for each of the group by values. Okay, so if I see this, you will see the unique records, right? But now instead of selecting these values, we will select minimum of ID value so that we will only get the first occurrence of each of these values. So you can see if I select each of okay, so if I select all the values, and let me give alias for this minimum ID, and let me run this two queries. So you can see the output of minimum of ID. Let me rename it as min ID. Okay, so the output, if you see, we have got the minimum ID for John is 1. Okay, and then if we got 3 for Alice and 4 for Bob. These are the minimum IDs having the unique combination of each of the records. So for example, for out of these two values, we got the ID 1 because these two are having duplicate records. Then again, for Alice, we have the duplicated records and we got the minimum of all the three values, which is ID 3. And then for Bob, we have only one value, which is 4, and we got the same in the output. Okay. So these are the values that we need to retain. So we will delete all the records which are not present in the list of these minimum IDs. So basically we need to delete ID equals to 2 and then 5 and 6. Okay, these three records we need to delete. So usually if we need to delete some record in SQL, we just need to write delete from then table name. Okay, so here the table name is details table, and then we need to specify the filter. So if we need to delete all the records, we will just execute this query delete from the table. But if we need to delete a specific record, then we will just write delete from the table where ID equals to, and we need to specify the condition. So if we run this, it will delete this particular record. But instead of this, I will just remove ID equals to 1. And now what we are going to do is we will delete from this tables where ID not present in the output of this query. So let me cut this, and here we will create a subquery where we will paste this particular subquery, and then if we execute this, it will delete all the records from the table where ID is not present in the output of this subquery. So basically it should delete the records with ID equals to 2, 5 and 6. So if I execute it, it should delete 3 records. So you can see 3 rows have been affected. And now if we see the results, you can see we got 1, 3 and 4 with each of the unique combination. So it has perfectly deleted the IDs with value 2, 5 and 6, which were the duplicated values. So we have achieved our requirement, but suppose in case we did not have anything called ID column and we just had these 4 columns, then we could not rely on the ID column to achieve this requirement, right? Because we have used minimum of ID to delete the duplicated values. Or in other case, suppose even the ID value would have been duplicated along with the other columns, then also we could not have found then also we could not have used not in operator to achieve this requirement of deleting the duplicates. So this scenario we will cover in upcoming video using CTE, which is called common table expression. So please stay tuned for the next video where we will see the other approach of deleting duplicates without using not in operator but using CTE. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you find this video helpful, and please hit on like button and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you.